The features Windows 11 comes out of the box with is really amazing and increases productivity. And so it's logical that developers who depend on Windows for their development would switch to it either almost immediately or take some time to explore it. In view of this, today we are going to set up a Windows 11 machine for Flutter development. Okay, so open your favorite web browser. In this case, I'm going to be using Google Chrome and navigate to flutter.dev/docs/get-started/install/windows, or just search for Flutter and click on the Get Started link. It will bring you to this page. I'm going to be leaving the link to this page in the description, so you can click in the description to get to this page. Now once you are on this page, download the Flutter SDK, which is a zip file. So hit on download. I've already downloaded it, so I'm going to open to this directory. That is my download directory. Now, but before we start anything, it has some system requirements that must be fulfilled. So to install and run Flutter, your development environment must meet these minimum requirements. So you have to be on either Windows 7 or later, and we happen to be running on Windows 11, so we are cool with this. Then you should have at least 1.64 gig free space to run your IDEs and development tools. Then we may also need either PowerShell or Git for Windows. Now, if you don't have this installed on your Windows, you can use the links here to download them. So PowerShell and Git. Once you have them, you can hit the download from PowerShell here. I already have it downloaded on my machine, so I don't need to download it again. Then you can download the Git. So you can click on download manually and it will download the Git installer for you. Okay, so that is it for the Flutter and its tools. We will need to configure Flutter. Then once we've configured Flutter, we need an IDE or a text editor to run our code in. And so we're using Android Studio or Visual Studio Code. I'll be leaving the links to these pages in the description, so you can use them to download the latest version, or you can search for Visual Studio Code in your web browser and you should find it. Now once you are on the Android Studio download page, you can hit the download Android Studio, then you accept the license agreements and hit download. I already have it, so I'm just going to cancel it. Then when you get to the Visual Studio Code, just hit on download, and then it should download. It should bring you to the installer download page, so you can choose for Windows, and we are going to be installing the 64-bit, but by default it will detect your architecture and download the one that is recommended for your system. So you can hit download and then it will download it for you. I already have it downloaded, so I'm just going to navigate to that part. Once you have all this downloaded, then you come to your local disk C, create a new folder and name it SRC. Now open to src and then extract the Flutter SDK you downloaded to this folder. Okay, so once it's done, open to the Flutter folder, then open the bin folder and copy the bin path. Then come to start and click and then type edit and select edit system environment variables. Hit on environment variables and then select path and hit edit. Then add new and paste the copied path and hit OK. You can do same for the system variables if you want. Once you are done, hit OK and OK. Okay, so we've extracted the Flutter SDK to its right folder. Okay, so we are done with extracting the Flutter SDK to the drive C file, and we've successfully added it to our environment variables. Okay, so now we have to install the dependencies we need to configure Flutter. So we can install the Git we downloaded. Just follow the prompt because there's nothing to it. Okay, so once the Git bash is installed, you can install the PowerShell as well. So double click and just follow the prompt. Okay, so we've successfully installed the pair dependencies we would need to configure Flutter. So now let's run the basic commands to set up Flutter. Okay, so once these two softwares are installed, right click anywhere on your screen, come to show more options and hit git bash here. Then type in flutter dash dash version to check the version of Flutter we have. So we are currently on Flutter version 2.5.2, a stable channel. and this is the repository on GitHub, and the frameworks, the engine, and then the tools is that. Okay, so once we have the versions and we've confirmed that the versions are right, we can run Flutter Doctor to pull in all the dependencies we will need. So hit enter. So once you hit enter and this is going through its process, let's install the IDEs we'll be using. I'll be installing both. So I'll first install Visual Studio Code from the installer. If you've not downloaded, and I suggest you check the link in the description to download them. Accept the agreements, hit next, just follow the prompt. So you can add a desktop icon if you want. Hit next and install. Okay, so once Visual Studio Code is installed successfully, hit finish and launch Visual Studio Code. Now there are some plugins you need if you are going to be using Visual Studio Code for your Flutter development. And one is Flutter. So just search for Flutter and then hit install. So the peer dependency of Flutter is that. So we are going to install the that plugin. But since I said it's a peer dependency, is automatically going to install. So you see that it's installing. Those are the dependencies you need to run to develop Flutter on a local machine using Visual Studio Code. Okay, so once we've successfully installed that, we can close this for now. Now, if you check the terminal, you see that we have some few errors. We have one error and then one warning saying Android Studio is not installed, and then we can't find the Android SDK. Okay, so both problems are coming from the fact that we've not installed Android Studio. So we have to install Android Studio. Just double click the installer. Again, if you've not downloaded it, check the description for the links to the various pages for these softwares. Then accept, just say yes. Hit next, follow the prompt, and let it install. Hit next, and then hit finish. This will start Android Studio. So I'm going to send usage statistics. Now hit next, next. If you want the light or the dark theme, I think I'm going with the dark theme for now. Then hit next. So these are the dependencies it will need to download before Android Studio can work smoothly on the Windows machine. So just hit finish, then wait for it to install. Okay, so once all features are successfully installed, you can hit finish. Then you have your new Android Studio. So just as we did for Visual Studio Code, we are going to install some dependencies here as well as its plugins. So just search for Flutter and then hit install, accept, and then it will also request for that plugin as well. So just hit install. Okay, so there's one plugin I like using, which is the Flutter Asset Autocomplete to help you with asset auto completion, so you don't have to be drilling through your assets. So just hit install and then hit restart IDE and hit restart. Okay, so now we can close this window, right click anywhere on the screen again, come to show more options and hit get bash here, then do Flutter doctor again. Okay, so now the Android Studio not installed is gone, but we are getting this to Android developer toolchain and other stuff, which is really not needed for Flutter. But if you are going to be doing Java Android development, then you would need to set things up to ignore this error. Okay, so we can update the Flutter we just installed with Flutter upgrade. So it pulls in any new changes that have been made to the SDK. It seems you're on the latest channel. If you are going to be using Flutter for web, you can enable web for with Flutter dash dash Flutter config dash dash enable dash web and hit enter. So web has been enabled. Okay, so once you are done with all that and restarted your Android Studio, you can right click on anywhere on your screen, come to more options and hit get bash here and type in Flutter create, then just say hello underscore world and hit OK. This will bootstrap a hello world app for you in Flutter, so you can see the hello world, then hit code dot to open the project in Visual Studio Code. Choose the project and then accept the default settings. Okay, so we have our default hello world app from Flutter. We have the popspec.log file, we have the IML file, we have the popspec.yaml file. Okay, so we've successfully created Android, iOS, and then web. If you are running on Android Studio, after starting Android Studio, after the installation of the plugins, you should get a screen that is similar to this. Okay, so to create a new Flutter project in Android Studio, just hit New Flutter Project. Then navigate to your Flutter directory that is in the SRC, the C drive, SRC, then select the Flutter and hit OK. Then hit, make sure you are on the Flutter. Then next, then give your project a title. So I'm just going to say Hello World. And make sure you are on the application. Then you can give a custom domain name if you want. I'm just going to say Mia Studios Inc. And you can switch the Android and iOS languages from Kotlin to Java if you want, but I'll leave them as default. You can select the ones you want to build. You want to build for, that would be web, iOS or Android, because we enabled web. Then you can select create project offline. It's optional. If you want to use data to create it, no problem. Then you can also change the location of your project. And then once you are okay with everything here, you just hit finish. Okay, so we have this project. So when you expand the Hello World directory, you should see your normal Flutter project tree. All your code lives in the lib folder. So this is the typical Hello World in Flutter. So you can create a virtual device from up here with AVD Manager, create virtual device, then select any of the phones that you want. I'm just going to go with Pixel 3 XL, then hit next, then I'll download for the latest, which is Android 11. So I'll download this one, accept, next, and wait for it to download. Okay, so I'm going to pause the video and come back when it's done downloading. Okay, so it's done installing. You can hit finish, then hit next. Then if you want to rename it, you can rename it. But then I'm going to hit finish, and then I can launch the emulator. Forget about this error. It has nothing to do with Flutter. It's just an internal error, I guess. So hit OK. Then your emulator should be up and running. Okay, so once this is up, you can select the emulator here and then hit the play icon to launch your program. So once all these installations is completed, you should see your app, the Hello World app on your emulator. So this is the default Hello World app. Okay, so we've successfully launched our app. You can close it for now. Okay, so we've successfully launched our app, created a Hello World app, and installed it on an emulator. But by default, the SDK is set to none. So when you come to File, Project Structure, that the project SDK is set to no SDK. So you can select the one that is installed on your system, or you can choose the API level, API 31, or the version you want, or the Android Studio default JDK. And I'm going to select the detected one, which is the custom one I installed. Then once you've selected the detected one, you can hit apply. Then you can hit OK. Okay, so now we've been able to launch our Hello World app on our emulator, but still when we check our Flutter Doctor, so when I say Flutter Doctor, I still get these two errors. The first one says command line to use component is missing and Android license status is unknown. Okay, so to fix this, open your Hello World app in Android Studio, then come to the SDK Manager, then switch to the SDK Tools tab, then tick Android SDK Command Line Tools Latest. So you can see that it's not installed. So just take it and then hit apply, hit OK. It's going to download and install it for us. Okay, so it's done installing. You can hit finish, apply, and hit OK. Okay, so after restarting my computer, I'm just going to open the same terminal, then run the same commands as we did before. So I'm going to access my previous history with Flutter Doctor so that we get that error. Okay, so it now says you should run this command. So I'm just going to paste and hit enter and say yes. These are just agreements you have to agree to. So I'm just going to do yes for all and clear. Then when you do Flutter Doctor again, this time around the coast is cleared and everything is green. So we are good to go. So that's it for this video, guys. If you liked it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you in another video.